I love you guys. I'm Laura Ingraham, and this is the Ingraham Angle from Washington tonight. The Trump-DeSantis duel to come. That's the focus of tonight's angle. Now, how tiresome is commentary like this?
But it's very important to expose him for who he is, which is not a regular politician, but a violent cult leader.
He leads a powerful cult of personality.
The Republican Party that has become a cult of personality around Donald Trump.
So we're supposed to believe that Trump's voters are only attracted to kind of his in-your-face, bare-knuckle style? Like a fighter who's refreshingly unwoke? Well, that's nonsense. What his core supporters firmly believe is that, as of now, Trump is the only candidate who has credibility on 4 vital policy issues. Now, Trump has a proven record of standing up to China. Both Biden and the GOP establishment want a partnership with China. Remember, Trump ignored big business and used tariffs to our advantage against China. Biden, he's itching to remove them.
We're not looking to decouple from China.
We'd like to see this relationship get onto a better footing.
A growing China that plays by international rules is good for the United States and the world.
Thank you, Janet. Now, Trump is opposed to open borders. Both Biden and the GOP establishment support open borders.
The Biden-Harris administration announced those sweeping measures that I mentioned moments ago from the state and DHS to expand legal pathways, launch regional process centers, surge asylum officers and judges, and more.
She reads really well. Trump is opposed to never-ending wars and wants to reform our national security establishment. Both Biden and the GOP establishment support it, and both have a record of spending trillions and trillions on failed wars.
And we will support Ukraine's defense for as long as it takes.
Supporting Ukraine as long as it takes.
For as long as it takes.
That's how long we're going to be with you, Mr. President, for as long as it takes.
He was walking off the wrong side of the stage. All right, Trump has proven record of putting real conservatives on the bench. Now, Biden would put hard left lunatics there, and the GOP establishment, let's face it, it has a record of appointing folks like David Souter and others like John Roberts. So that's 4 major issues that should be critical in any election, where Trump right now has a clear policy advantage over both Biden and the GOP establishment. And that all leads to the following. On domestic policy, Trump has a proven record of building an economy that generated higher real wages for American workers. Now, neither the Biden administration nor the old GOP guard can say the same. And on social policy, Trump led us to a huge victory to overturn Roe versus Wade. We know what the GOP establishment failed to do. Yeah, overturn Roe versus Wade for only 40 years. And by the way, Trump did all of this while facing impeachment and the fraudulent Mueller investigation. So simply attacking Trump as a person or his style, it ain't going to work. If you want to win the GOP nomination, you're going to have to convince the voters that you're going to do the right thing on China, on the borders, obviously the economy, on the military, and judges. I don't think that many people really believe that Mike Pence, Tim Scott, Nikki Haley would really be able to stand up to the GOP establishment on any of those issues. So if you vote for them, you're effectively voting for Mitch McConnell, and almost no one in the GOP anymore agrees with Mitch McConnell. So that leaves Ron DeSantis, who certainly has shown a willingness to think for himself and to take positions and to push policies that don't match up with the GOP establishment. He's taken on the CCP by barring their land purchases in his state. He stood up to the corporate wokesters, and he's built an impressive diverse base of support. So tomorrow night, when he announces, it's time for him to make his positions crystal clear on the key issues where Trump currently has a significant advantage. Now, check out this head-to-head poll. If he does the right thing on those issues, well, we could have a real horse race, could. If he thinks he can run as Trump light, I believe he's going to be disappointed. Next summer, we'll skip ahead a year. The GOP base wants its nominee to make 4 big points at the convention. Number 1, we will stand up to China. Number 2, we will enforce our border. Number 3, we will reform the national security state. And number 4, you bet we're going to appoint socially conservative judges. They also want a candidate who's going to campaign everywhere. Remember our motto here on the Ingraham Angle: no state and no city left behind. And that means appeal to working people of all backgrounds, build a multicultural majority. Now, for years, Trump has been their only option. Remember what Trump did to grow Hispanic support and some African American support among black males. DeSantis changed the math with Latinos in Miami-Dade County. Huge turnaround there. And now we're going to see if he can replicate that elsewhere. So we hear that DeSantis is going to announce his candidacy on Twitter with Elon Musk, I guess, interviewing him. Well, last November, Musk endorsed DeSantis, but now he says he's neutral and he just wants someone who's, quote, normal as president. I don't know what that means. You know, people who run for president and I guess, are they normal? I don't know. Although Musk is impressive, as we have said in many, many ways, he's obviously a genius in many, many ways, his neutrality is probably good news for DeSantis, given the fact that Tesla's dependence on manufacturing and sales in China could be an issue that Trump brings up. But for anyone running on the GOP side, this has to be a campaign for America, not a campaign for the donors. Again, Trump's already proven his America First bona fides. DeSantis still has work to do. He has a lot of people to convince. That's the way I see it tonight, late May 2023. And that's The Angle.